Hello everyone and welcome back to Causes Gaming. Today we are going to take a look at Chuchel, this new indie comedy adventure game from the creators of such awesome indie games as Machinarium or Samorost. Amanita Desing is promising amazing graphics, funny character and lots of slapstick humor and cracking you up throughout the whole game. Whether it can deliver on this promise is the question we will try to answer today. Chuchel is available on Steam for €9.99, their regional equivalent. I should probably start by saying I love games from Amanita Desing. The one I love the most is probably the original Samorost. Not only have I played it on my laptop back in high school many times over, but when its third iteration came out for tablets, I didn't hesitate for a single second and bought it as well. But we are not here to talk about Samorost, we are here to talk about Chuchel. But there is one more thing that needs to be addressed before the review itself starts. The pronunciation of the name of the game and its main protagonist. It's Chuchel. Not Chuchel, not Chuchel, not Chuchel, and nor Chuchel. It's Chuchel. Trust me, the game is made by Czech developers. I am Czech and I do know how the word is pronounced. And if anybody is interested, it means wad, lump, or a clod of something. So that is now solved, so let's actually take a look at how Chuchel plays. And if you ever played anything by Amanita Desing, you will be able to guess how it works. You get a character on screen and you need to solve puzzles to progress to the next screen. Sometimes the puzzles are very logical, and sometimes they go on the verge of the world of moon logic. And I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not the biggest fan of moon logic. I prefer solutions that make sense, instead of combining a penny, a banana, and a bottle to create a rocket ship that will take you to the moon. Luckily, Chuchel tends to stick a bit more on the normal side of logic. And the places that do feel like moon logic aren't actually caused by the fact that there is no logic to them. It's because the characters and items on screen are so strange you are just missing the logic because of that. But once you figure out what the item do and what are the behaviors of the characters, it is usually a very simple thing to figure out what you need to do. But let's say even after you know what each thing does and how the characters behave, you still don't know how to solve the puzzle. No fear, you don't need to alt-tab out of the game to find a solution by finding a video and then finding the exact puzzle you're stuck on. There is actual in-game help. And I will be honest, I did use it a few times because, well, I'm dumb. Never ever forget that. And the help has always helped me. Apart from the classic puzzle sections, the game also features two kinds of levels. First, there are the levels inspired by other video games like Tetris or even Flappy Bird. These are just pure fun, paying homage to either the gaming classics or just using the simple yet addictive concepts found in the newer ones. On top of that, they provide a great way to change the pacing so it doesn't become monotonous. And on top of that, they aren't always just recreations of the games with graphics of Chuchel. For example, in the Tetris level, you aren't trying to stack the blocks, but you are trying to avoid being crushed by them. I love it. The second type of non-puzzle levels are the ones that actually aren't really levels. They're essentially interactive cutscenes where no real puzzle or gameplay appears, but you still have to interact with the level to get the cutscene to move forward. I personally am not the biggest fan of these scenes in general, but luckily the humor and the fact that there aren't that many of these in Chuchel makes them actually bearable. So, gameplay wise, Chuchel was actually exactly what I expected it to be. A lighthearted, comical adventure game. I'll talk more about the comedy in the graphics part of the review, but if you are looking for something that you can play mostly for the laughs, not to break your mind on insanely hard puzzles, Chuchel is exactly what you are looking for. Let's move on to the thing that makes, at least in my opinion, Amanita Desing's games so amazing: their graphics. But there is one important distinction when looking at Chuchel compared to their previous titles. Chuchel is just so much more cheerfully colorful, and I think that's actually a good thing. Not to say that the graphics of their previous titles were bad, far from it, they were amazing, but I do believe that it is important for gaming studios to change up their formula every now and then. So, the graphics. They remind me of the graphics that are nowadays being used in kids' TV shows. At least the ones here in the Czech Republic. I'm not a painter, nor am I that knowledgeable about art, but I can definitely tell you the style is very modern. And it takes that and applies a classic to it: slapstick humor. Whether it's something falling on Chuchel, usually many times over, or him getting completely distorted, it's something most of us can laugh to very easily. Just who doesn't love stuff like Bugs Bunny, or going even further into the past, things like Popeye? This is then only intensified by the sheer insanity of Chuchel. Do you want aliens? Check. Do you want living toothbrushes? Check. Or perhaps you just want to see strange blobs of something sucking the main character up and spitting him out. All of this and more is waiting for you in Chuchel. Now, on to the story. And with Chuchel, it's going to be even harder than usual not to spoil it, as the story is insanely simple. You're Chuchel, a lump of, I presume and hope, of hair that loves cherries. But your cherry is always being taken away from you, so you go and try to get it. Not much else really to it, but Chuchel is not trying to become a great work of art because of its amazingly complex story and three-dimensional characters. For that, it has its graphics. And the last piece of the atmosphere building tool in games, apart from the graphics and the story, is the music. So I guess it's time to take a look at that now. And you won't likely be surprised by the fact that the music of Chuchel is, well, loud and cheerful. Loud in the sense that most of the sounds are quite in your face, not subtle at all. And on top of that, it just awesomely fits the game in general. Another important part of the sound design of Chuchel is the voice acting. Though I am somewhat unsure to actually call it voice acting. It's just a ton of random gibberish with occasionally hearing the words Chuchel and Kekel in the middle. Interestingly enough, if you watch the body language of Chuchel and his tone of voice, you will also always know exactly what he wanted to say. And if that isn't proof of amazing sound design, I don't know what is. We're now slowly getting to the end of the review, so it's time to take a quick look at how Chuchel performs. And I don't think anybody will be surprised that the level of technical polish is high. The game runs awesomely, though that will in large be caused by the fact that it is a 2D game. So, in conclusion, Chuchel is a great adventure game. The closest thing that could be considered a problem with the game is its price compared to the time it will take you to beat the game. It took me about 2 hours of game time to finish it, but I did not get all the achievements in game, so if I wanted, I could still go in and hunt for those, adding a little bit of runtime to the game. That being said, if you like awesome graphics, slapstick humor, and great indie games, don't hesitate at all. Chuchel is the game you have been looking for. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you liked the review, and if you did, please consider giving a thumbs up to the review and subscribing to the channel. And comment if you have something you would like to add. See you guys later with more gaming content.